Thousands of beautiful faces enter Bollywood every year to make it big in the world of glamour and showbiz. But only a handful become successful. Some lose hope, some get married, and there are those who refuse to give up hope or get married but choose instead to tread the challenging path of success. The journey is definitely not easy, as filmmaking is still a man's world. On Women's Day today, Earshot.in introduces its new show, Bollywood Ki Queen Kaun, with this beautiful, successful actress's journey through the film industry and how a woman can make it in a man's world. She has worked with some of the India's top filmmakers, including Mani Ratnam, Sanjay, Leela, Bhansali, and Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra in her 18-year-old career. Today, the stunning Aditi Rao Haydari has been winning the audiences over with her performance as the strong, independent Mona, who feels stifled in her husband's love in the Tamil movie Hey Sinamika. Walking away with the lion's share of praise in the rom-com, Aditi Rao Haydari's nuanced performance is definitely one of the talking points and reasons to watch this film. On Bollywood Ki Queen Kaun, Aditi tells us about receiving acclaim for her performance in Hey Sinamika, her on-screen chemistry with co-star Dulquer Salmaan, what has been a journey in Bollywood till now, and how she chooses her roles. Over to Aditi and her exciting career in only Earshot.in. Hey Sinamika has received, resounding claim, and so have you. The strong, independent Mona. I haven't seen the film, but whatever I have, heard about it, I think it's a fabulous role. Especially I have always perceived you as this very soft, sensitive, delicate, and here you come across as this strong, independent persona. So, was it challenging to play a character like Mona?
It was actually. I mean, every part is challenging, honestly. It's not like the soft, delicate, vulnerable girls are not challenging. But Mauna was challenging also because it's a kind of, there's a lot that happens in this film, and it's a huge roller coaster. And no, it's not that she's only strong. I mean, her strength also comes from her brattiness. She's a brat and she's immature. And um, and there's a kind of evolution of the character, and there's a coming of age, or actually of Mauna. And usually, what I found very interesting is, Dulquer and I were talking about this. Usually, it's the boy, who's given the space to be bratty and lazy and irresponsible, and then we all love the boy through it all, and then he grows up, and then he evolves into a better human being, more thoughtful human being. And in this film, it's Mauna who literally is like immature, lazy, bratty, irresponsible, all of the above. But at the same time, she has a point too, and that's what I liked about it. That it's not just that she's an irresponsible brat; she also has a point. Like, here is a partner who mansplains to her all the time, doesn't give her space, but at the same time, I think that they were very interesting characters, both of them, Yaran and Mauna, in that here is a man who has no problem wearing an anarkali because he can't find his clothes, and she tells him, what are you wearing? And usually it's boys who tell us, what are you wearing, he is happy to run a home, to work work as a homemaker, uh, cook, clean, and she goes out and works. And it's not a bone of contention between the two of them. What is the fact that he's mansplaining, so these are very interesting things that were brought up in this film. But having said that, though, there's a very real, there's a core of these the core of these characters, and what it is that they're going through is very real. And I think for a lot of young couples today, and the kind of things that we all deal with, you see a reflection of your own life and what's happening here. But I feel that it's also heightened because we have made a commercial film. We have made a film for people to come into the theaters, and it's not been done by design. That is the film that was written, to make it fun and happy and funny and light. So there is an element of very, very real situations and very real problems, but it's told in a very fun, almost crazy, heightened, comical kind of way. So I enjoyed that about this, and it's the first time also that I'm doing something, a part where there is a lot of comedy. And she is this, what we call in the south, a very rowdy girl. She's a rowdy. So it was fun to do that.
Sorry.
And then I also get to do the whole emotion, the emotional part of it also, which is the second half of the film, when Kajal's character comes in, and then the gear shifts and it turns into what it turns into. So yeah.
You know what I love best about Hey Cinemaka is I've seen you. I love, like, I love the girl on the train. I love Gili Pucci. I miss you in movies. So, and
Thank you.
so it's so beautiful to see you. And what is even better is that your performance as Mona has been, extremely appreciated by fans, critics, audiences, everybody. So, how does it feel to receive a positive response for your character, for the film too?
There's a sweet spot where that we, at least I have realized that that's the best place to be. I enjoy that the most, where a film is loved by fans, critics, as well as your own fraternity. And I think with Hey Sanamika, that has happened. And when that happens in a film, it's really a very nice place to be in. So I've really enjoyed that. And for the film, people have loved the film, and the kind of response that I have got for Mauna, I think that it obviously it feels really good, because also we have a theatrical after quite a long time. And what you said, I miss you, makes me feel really happy, because I also when somebody says that, I'm like, but I'm working all the time. It's also because I'm working in 4 industries, so I can't possibly it's like I'm juggling Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam. So somebody or the other is telling me that they are missing me. But I'm like, that's a great place to be. I'd rather be told that than for people to say, please, we've had enough of you. So I like this juggling act. I like that everybody misses me. And the fact that I've had a Tamil release after Psycho, which was also a huge success. I want to thank the Tamil audience a million gazillion times. I can't thank them enough. They have always been so good to me. And now Hey Sinamika has done so well, and they have loved Mauna. So I'm so thrilled and so relieved, because at this point you're not sure if people will actually go into the theater and watch your film. So I'm very, very happy. I'm really happy that everybody's happy, and going back like 2, 3, 4 times to watch Hey Sinamika.
That's true. And in fact, because of Hey Cinemaka and Mahasamudram, and of course, your other movies, Ajib Dastan, which I was talking about, you have been coined like the Navrasa queen, like the queen of all emotions. Any comment on that?
I love it. When I first heard this name, I was like, "Oh, that's nice." It made me damn happy. But I love it. Yeah. It also because as an actor and as a dancer, I come from a dancing background, and the navarasas are very important in your in your when you dance, and when you study poetry, and when you look at characters when you dance. So to to be given this title is new for me, but is also very exciting. But I think Mauna is that, like there's so much happening in her life that she literally goes through the entire Navarasas in Hey Sanamika. So I will thank Madan Karki, the writer, for giving me this Navarasa Queen part.
It's a layered character. So getting appreciation for a layered character, does that feel better than something like a simple sweet girl next door, something with shades? How do you look at your roles?
Honestly, I like it all, because you have to be true to what is written and true to what the vision of the director is, and the story that you're making. So in a Gili Pucci also there's a lot of layering. In a Mahasamudram also there's a lot of layering. In Manisar's Katriveli Day also there's a lot of layering, but it's different. It depends on the journey that you travel through in the film. Now, in a coming of age film, obviously there's going to be a huge shift
Mm.
in your in dynamics, relationship wise, and within yourself as well. Whereas in certain films, you're telling the story of a particular point in time. And here you're traveling a huge distance. I actually really enjoy films where you have a big journey that you travel. Like even in Manisa's Katriveli Day, there's a huge journey that the girl goes through. I enjoy that a lot because then you do get to, you do get to be on this roller coaster of Navarasas. But I feel that Hey Sinamika in particular, like I was saying, it's actually Navarasas because you also bring in the other rasas that you don't always, you don't always have in love stories. Like the love stories that I've done have tended to be very, very Shringaram driven and very almost intense and very like, all the rasas that come within the whole rasa of love, and whereas in Hey Sinamika, because it is playful, and there's also the whole comical element and the whole irritation and the impatience and all of that, which you don't always, I have not always played out those. So yeah, this one has been different, but I enjoy love stories a lot, even though I'm not somebody who goes by, oh, this genre, oh, it's not about that for me. It's very much about the director, because I am a director's actor. I completely give into the vision. I trust. I work with people I trust. I work with people I respect. And that's how I like to work. I like to be a 5-year-old on a set, a curious 5-year-old who is given the freedom to explore and, take risks and be nurtured. So I like to work with that. So it's not about, which genre, but it is, uh, but I do enjoy love stories because it gives you a big journey, and then within the love stories it's different characters that you play, because no love story is the same and no girl is the same, you know each life is different. And as an actor, you create a life and you go into the world of these people, and it's my job to make you come into my world and to then take me home with you and my story home with you. And I think that's what's really special about this whole magic of cinema, is to create these characters who hopefully will become timeless, and to be a part of cinema that hopefully will live beyond you, and for people to take you home with them.
You always do with your characters. Like even on the girl on the train, there was something so wistful, something so, she just leaves you, with that impression. It's not your beauty. It's something, something about the persona, whether it's a tragic something, or whether it's, something light or, fun. But there's something always a bit of you which kind of lingers on after the show is over.
Thank you. That's so kind of you. Thank you.
Also in Hey Cinemaka, there's great chemistry on screen, and I have seen off screen also. You guys have good fun. Great
Yeah.
friends. So do you think that makes it easier, like with Dulquer Salmaan, with reference to, there's a great on-screen chemistry. So when you're off screen also, I mean, how does that work? Is it better because you're friends?
See, I don't know about that because there are enough people I've worked with who I have not known at all, and people have appreciated us together appreciated that those jodies as well.
I
But
have to button and say you look great together, both of
thank
you.
you, thank you. But with DQ, I call DQ my homie because we both have Manisa connection, and we both have a Brinda Master connection for that matter. And I always say, and both of us say this, that even if we hadn't been actors and didn't have these connections, we would have found each other as buddies, at any point in time, because we connected instantly. And there's a trust. I think the most important thing is, it's chemistry is something that we are meant to have on screen. But I think what it actually is trust, between two people and between two actors. DQ and I really have that. We really value each other, we trust each other, we respect each other. um, Having said that, we are a real life Tom and Jerry. I trouble him a lot. I don't let him be in peace ever, because he is a very grumpy person in the morning and I cannot bear it. So when he's in the van and I'm shooting, because Brinda must always call me at 7 o'clock in the morning to do the first shot, and then like a good Mani sir trained girl, I would be on set at 6:45, ready for my first shot at 7. And DQ was always called in a little later because he was like, I can't, like, I have to start a little later. So we had a good understanding. And then after I'd finished my work, I'd be like, I'm going and calling DQ, and I would irritate him till he came out of the van. So we have this great bond. Um, and I'm also part of DQ's friend circle. I'm close, like I'm very fond of his wife, Amal. We have a gang of friends in Chennai. I always hang with them. And DQ and I would always say, why don't we ever do a film together? And I've known him for some years now, and but we never, ever, ever, ever um, recommended each other for anything. And there have been times, when we have had the opportunity and people have asked us, but we never did it because we were like, organically, somebody will call us for a film. And it will happen one day. And it did. And Brinda Master called us. We both adore her. Brinda Master could have asked anybody. And she says that DQ and I were her first choice and that she would not make this film without us. And we did this film and it's done really well. And I think that I don't think it has anything to do with our off-screen and on-screen chemistry because they kind of quite different. We, in fact, before we started, we were like, are we going to look like siblings? Like, what's going to happen? I don't know. and, uh, so we had that. And then after the first few shots were canned and everybody was so happy and we were like, okay, fine, this is going to be fine. And we like, the moment action is called, we're professionals. We're Mauna and Yaran and we were fine. But I think it's very, it's a lot of fun working with people you trust. And and trust me, you can also trust people you don't know, because there's an energy that they have and their work, or you there's at least I'm a trusting person, so for me it's easy to do that. And it's really about that. It's about helping each other, giving each other space. We really found these characters together and Brinda Master gave us the space to do that. So I will never talk about Mauna without Yaran, because I think they're so intertwined in that way. We really found them together. And they are both like, you know, yeah. So that I think it was a fun experience. And it's the first time actually that I'm such good friends with a co-star and then I got to work with them so much later. It's a new experience for me. But it's only because people ask me this question that I think about it. On set, it was quite effortless, I think.
So, Aditi, back to back hits, powerful performances, off to a flying start in 2022 with Hey Sinamika. Your fans keep wondering now what's next? What do you have in store for them? What can they expect? So, what are your, what can we expect some more in 2022, 23? And I'm asking as being a pan India superstar. It's not from the South or from Bollywood. No, today you are known as that because you're doing all movies, all kinds of movies. And so I can call you a pan India superstar. So, yeah. So, what can we look forward to? What can your fans, what can I look forward to?
That's so sweet. Thank you. You've made my day. I I want to keep telling really amazing stories, and I wonder, I have this wish list of directors that I want to work with, and I only actually talk about it once it happens. So I usually keep quiet till it happens. But I have been working on something very interesting in Hindi with the director that I've really been wanting to work with, Vikramaditya Motwani. I've loved working with him and his team. He's just a fantastic director and person and captain,
Stardust.
Yes. And I don't know if announcements have been made, but I mean, people know that I'm working with him. So this is something that I've just done, and then there's some other stuff as well, which it's too early to speak about, but I rather start and then speak about it. And then there's also something with Vijay Sethupathi. He's one of those actors who I really admire, and I've always said that I want to work with him. And about 3 times. It's almost happened. It's happened actually, and then it's not happened. In fact, there was a film I was supposed to do with Vijay Sethupathi, and I had to actually leave that film because Brinda Master's dates were clashing with that film, and I had committed to Brinda Master earlier. Um, so I'm doing a film with him as well, and I hope this time it actually happens. So there's quite a few things that are happening in various languages. And you'll know when it all starts coming out.
What about doing more web series? There's so many interesting characters out there. Are you interested at exploring, some more stuff in the OTT genre?
Today I think it's so nice that none of us look at the medium on which the platform on which a story is being told. At least I don't, and I know a lot of actors are also not looking at it in that way. Whether it's very very established people like Surya sir, and like people are actually releasing their films on OTT or making content for OTT. uh, so it's really not about the platform. It's about the story. It's about stories and finding the right platform for those stories. So some films are supposed to come out in the theater. Like, I'm so happy Hey Sinamika, the producers Geo and everybody waited for the theaters for Hey Sinamika because it is a theatrical film.
Yeah.
And we're seeing how people have responded to it in the theaters. But there are some films like say Givi Pucci. I think it's important that it comes on an OTT platform and it reaches out to that kind of audience. So I think every story there's a right platform for every story. And for me, it's very important to be a part of incredible stories and tell incredible stories with incredible directors, to be a part of the vision of an incredible director, and to give myself to that vision and to tell these stories for people who consume them.
You've always done
Of
that.
course, I will continue to work in various on be seen on various platforms. Is that the correct way to say it? Yeah.
I was saying pan-Indian superstar, and you're one of the most successful actresses who worked in all industries, whether it's Bollywood and the South, all kinds of industries. Uh, Aditi, how has the journey been as an actress and as a person? Can you share some, give us some insight as an actress? Is it easier for an actor to make it in an acting world, or you've had some beautiful directors, beautiful movies? How has your journey been?
Actors are actually very dependent people. You can come with all the talent or lack of it. And it's really about what is offered to you. The people who create these platforms for you, to shine, to show your navarasas for that more, and mm, I feel like for me, it has been a step at a time. It has been one little step at a time, from 2011, 2010, 11, when I started with Sudhir sir's film. And then it's literally been, I actually at that point used to do one film a year, because I would do that film, wait for it to release, wait for people to react to it, and then hopefully give me something else. um, I think for me it really changed. And I remember, times where people would pat me on the back, say that, that they liked the way I looked, and that the way I performed, and that I was talented, and, that I was hardworking. And that's it. The chapter closed. It was a compliment, and then that's it. Then I went back home. And
That must
I
have
think
been
for
crushing, for you're
not
starting.
so, because I think I was also I was innocent and naive, and I used to get happy every time somebody said something nice to me. I would just be happy, and I'd be like, oh, that's so kind of them. It also makes a huge difference to have that encouragement and that praise. um, and little things would come of it, but it is also my personality to be grateful for what it is that I was getting, and to, you know also put my attention and concentration into learning and bettering myself and understanding the industry that I was in. I didn't have much help. I didn't have a particular hand on my head, but today I feel like I must have had some angelic hand on my head, or I don't know what, because in 2016 I just got a call from Manisa's office, and I thought it was a prank call. And I landed up at the office. I did a look test. I then signed the film, and I think after that things started changing, where I then, people started writing for me. I started, working in Tamil, Telugu, also in Malayalam, not so much in Malayalam, but I've done one film in Malayalam. And then, I started doing so much in a year, and I started enjoying it. And a lot of challenging, roles were given to me, and people were trusting me with, people considered me talented, and they were actually giving me challenging paths, and really nurturing me, and you know uh, giving me the freedom to explore and act, and also be a heroine. At the end of the day, that's also important. Both are important to tell stories, and also have that, the love of the audience, which you get by being sometimes this slightly larger than life character, who then is a part of a person's consciousness or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's a combination of these two things. And um, so for me, it has been a day at a time, but I think I've always taken it as something to be grateful for, something to learn from.
Exactly.
And i I think that, to me today, I realize that I function best when I can be a child on set, a curious child, and I'm nurtured, and I'm given the freedom to explore. And today I just seek those experiences time and again. And I think it really started with Manisa, and I hope that I can continue to work like that.
Aditi, one last question. Anushri is saying, okay, now we should wind up. So, winding up, what would be your mantra as a successful, extremely successful actress and woman, to women, because filmmaking is essentially a man's world. So, as a woman, as an actress, what is your successful mantra for success?
One is that I want to say that filmmaking shouldn't be gender defined. It like it is about people, and it is about storytelling, and there is no gender in that. I mean, it should not be gender defined. uh, I think about being an actor, and also being a woman in this industry. I think it's so important to, again, take the gender away from it, and to say that I am a person, I'm hardworking, uh, I am authentic. Um, I I come in with the right intention of telling stories. I come in with trust, and I come in with a huge love for the work that I do. And I think I think that should be enough, you know, to then live your dreams. And I think it's very important also to know that every choice you make defines you, you know. But it, in that definition, there is an evolution every single day, and that you can evolve, and that you must evolve, and that you must always take a step forward, and you must believe in yourself as a person, and as a talent, and as an artist. um, and it's also about it's also about supporting each other, you know. um, I would love to say women supporting women, but I do believe it's also about people supporting people. Even with Hey Sinamika, so many people have pointed out that there's so many women HODs in this film. Now, I do know that that's brilliant, it's fantastic, and it's something that we must celebrate. But professions should not be gender defined. We have a director who's capable, we have a who's brilliant, we have a DOP who's brilliant, we have actors on set who are doing their job. So it's about that, and I want our world, especially our world of cinema, to come to a place where we can be an industry that is not defined by gender in any way, but is about talented people, making cinema together and telling beautiful stories together.
That, I mean, I have no words to say after that. One wonderfully inspiring note. It's really inspiring for others. Thank you so much, Aditi. It's been so lovely to catch up with you after so long.
Thank you. Thank you.
Looking
So nice
forward.
to chat with you. Nice to see you.
Same here. So good to, and again, one more virtual hug for you. Take care and all the best. Lots of more records.
Lots of love. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you, girls. Thank you so much. Thank you, Manish.
मैं आपको ऐसे ही और स्टार्स की एक्साइटिंग जर्नीज के बारे में बताती रहूंगी, मिलवाती रहूंगी with lot of exciting news in between. Till then, keep listening to Bollywood की queen kaun only on Earshot. मैं हूँ Upala signing off for today. Take care. Bye.